Hey guys, welcome back. So this video was kind of meant to be snarky, but also to be kind of serious. And, what happens to New York City in particular, their sanitation process, what they do with all the garbage. Because as we know, Alicia is very wasteful. And with her, humongous shopping hauls that she does for content, all the paper, plastic products that she uses for her very large family, just makes me wonder, does she recycle? What is she doing, as a public figure now to kind of scale back on the waste and help out the state in which she lives in? I'm not sure if she realizes the lengths that New York takes to get rid of the trash that they pick up from, the citizens of New York and surrounding. It's a pretty tedious, long process. And I feel like her being somewhat of a social media influencer, she could take this a little bit more serious. And maybe instead of doing sponsors for Flintstones, she can maybe do some sponsorship or even some, volunteer work to help with all the trash that she is actually contributing to. So just take a look at what New York City does to dispose of trash in New York City and surrounding.
This is just 3 days worth of trash, most coming from New York City. And that claw is taking it to be burned into electricity.
And here's Alicia making room for groceries that she obviously, doesn't need at this time, but she had to make her weekly grocery haul video. So let's see her put away all this garbage and throw away what has expired and will eventually be picked up by the very hardworking sanitation crew of New York City.
But we're not actually in New York City. We're in Jersey.
Once the garbage man comes and picks it up, you don't think any more about it. But it has a long way to go after that.
None of New Yorkers' waste is processed in the city. Instead, it ends up as far away as Ohio, Pennsylvania, and even South Carolina. So getting trash from here to here takes thousands of workers, trucks, trains, cranes, and even barges, operating nonstop to ship waste across the East Coast.
I think it's safe to say that this becomes overwhelming for Josh and also the children to have to put away massive amounts of groceries every week, and that they don't eat it and it eventually goes to waste.
Rain, snow, hail, storm, there's no stopping us.
And it all costs the city hundreds of millions. Here's what actually happens to New York City's 3.2 million tons of trash a year. New York City's Department of Sanitation sends its fleet of 2,000 garbage trucks to start picking up at 5 a.m.
Everything in, Jason and Dash are awake. I am going to start putting stuff away. Sometimes I do like a whole separate vlog of restock, and sometimes I just quickly do it at the end of my shopping vlog. We're going to do it at the end of shopping vlog this week. Thanks, boys.
He processes up to 1 million tons of waste annually.
Floor, they dump in front of one of these bays.
Tractors push the trash into a massive storage pit, 93 feet deep and 270 feet long.
Between 8,000 and 9,000 tons are in the refuse pit. It's about 3 to 4 days worth of trash.
A giant grapple claw descends over the trash. In one swoop, it can pick up as much as one trash truck carries. The claw builds a wall of trash to prevent it from avalanching onto the tipping floor. It also helps to make more space for incoming refuse.
So Alicia gets paid, right, to create all this trash and garbage and waste. And then the sanitation workers get paid to take that trash to an incinerator or to a landfill. I wonder if they, have ever stopped by her house and thought, holy shit, this is a lot of waste.
Do you look at garbage a very different way since I've been working here? We create a lot of garbage as a population.
Now, I know that Alicia Dougherty is not the only one who contributes to all the waste, right? But I think it's really important for someone like Alicia who does this for a living, which is grocery hauls every week. And the things that she's buying eventually need to go into the trash, right? So I guess just be mindful, and maybe she could be educated on the things that she's buying, like 7,000 paper plates and bowls and plastic forks and spoons, and maybe turn her content around to where she's doing things, greener, less pollution, less waste. That would be great, especially someone who is, somewhat of a social media influencer or what have you. Instead, she keeps doing this for the wow factor, for the waste. Can anyone guess what's being made inside this factory? I like these heavy duty ones, even though it's just for inside my kitchen garbage. So again, this is not something that she's doing monthly, right? Or every couple months. This is her weekly grocery haul for a family of 14. Again, they're, I guess, can't use regular cups that they can wash or, bowls, plates. It's the amount of paper plates that she uses and waste is just appalling. Now, we know from past videos of Alicia's, she uses these paper plates to carry food out for her chickens. I wouldn't be surprised if the dogs eat off of these plates. Obviously, her children, they use it for breakfast, lunch, dinner, for their cereal. Everything that she prepares or, the children prepare for themselves, everything is eaten on a paper product. And she is most definitely keeping these manufacturers in business. Surprised she doesn't have a sponsor with Dixie. And these videos that I'm compiling in here, this is all from a month span. I think she's done 4 or 5, maybe 6 grocery hauls. And each grocery haul, she has picked up massive amounts of paper plates and bowls and forks. But another big waste and issue is the amount of plastic. The amount of plastic water bottles and the Gatorades and the Sunny Delights. So just think for a minute, those that watch her, even the younger generation, watching all this waste pile up. And it's almost like because she's a social media influencer, it's okay. It's okay to make all this waste and garbage as long as, you're doing it for content.
2 claws work together in tandem, dumping trash into hoppers leading to the incinerator. Romeo's an expert giant claw operator.
21 years of playing the crane.
There is no shortage of fuel for our boilers. Toy Story is the first thing everyone thinks of.
Disney actually got inspiration for the Toy Story 3 incinerator sequence from a Covanta plant. The incinerators burn the trash at 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit. It takes 1 to 2 hours to burn an entire hopper load.
We've now entered the control room area of the plant.
This is the brain of the operation.
Yes, it is. And here's your brain. He's got camera views of the combustion zone.
How important are you for this place running correctly?
How important am I? I am the guy. I am the guy.
He's in the hot seat.
Russell monitors as the furnace heats up steam, turning this turbine and generating enough energy to power this plant and 46,000 homes in the region. After everything's burned, all that's left over is ash and metal. This magnet pulls off enough metal to make 21,000 cars. The leftover ash goes to cover landfills. Next, the plant tackles those nasty fumes that burning trash causes. First, leftover gases go through a scrubber reactor. A lime slurry cleans any acid gases, and activated carbon absorbs pollutants. Then it goes through a baghouse, basically a bunch of filters. So what's left coming out of that smokestack?
Constituents of the flue gas is what's in normal air, like nitrogen, carbon dioxide, moisture. The alternative to this would be going to a landfill.
Waste to energy does produce CO2 emissions. But in a year, this process eliminates 1 million tons of CO2 emissions a landfill would have produced.
We generate a very small amount of methane. The methane we offset from a landfill results in...
I left the other one up front. Okay, I found James. We're going to get Gatorade. Gatorade next. All right, the kids don't like those zero.
It's all part of its goal of becoming zero waste to landfill by 2030, but that is becoming harder and harder to reach. Only about 30% of New York City's waste turns into energy. The rest ends up in harmful methane-producing landfills as far away as South Carolina and Ohio. And it takes a significant investment to move it. Every year, exporting trash costs the city about $400 million. So why does New York City send its trash so far away? In 1881, New York City streets were notoriously filthy. So dirty, people were getting sick. So the Department of Sanitation was established to clean up the streets. And the department did help mop up the city, but the city quickly ran out of room to put all of its trash. In the early 1900s, the city turned to dumping trash into the ocean. Even though it was illegal, as much as 80% of the city's trash ended up in the sea. This continued until 1934, when a Supreme Court case forced the city to stop ocean dumping. In the 70s, incinerators used for much of the 1900s were closed down because they didn't meet the EPA's clean air standards. So the city opened up landfills across the 5 boroughs, including at one point, the world's largest. In 1973, New York even built out Lower Manhattan using trash mounds. But even that wasn't enough. With nowhere else to put it, the city began sending its waste to other states.
Most of the landfills in this area have been closed down, so the available landfills are getting further and further away.
Exporting trash is a costly practice with a big environmental footprint, and it puts the burden on communities far from these shiny skyscrapers. For now, New York City's only choice is to keep exporting the trash. But ultimately, the department says the best solution would be getting New Yorkers to waste less altogether.
Trash is like one of those things that you put it outside and forget about it. I think everybody should know what happens to what they get rid of. If you know where it's going and you don't like where it's going, maybe you'll find ways to recycle things.
Next aisle. We gotta get forks, spoons, bowls, plates.
Okay, so I guess my hope moving forward, especially when it comes to Alicia Dougherty, I hope that she can incorporate some going green content, be a little less wasteful, be a good role model for the younger generation that watches your channel. You can easily incorporate ways that your family is using less paper products and plastic water bottles. Everything that you do doesn't have to revolve around spending money and large quantities of just bullshit. I know that that's a wow factor, that's entertaining, but think about New York. Think about, the town, the state you live in, and all the work that goes into this, and being somebody that's like you, a higher ranking social media, influencer. Do something with your platform, help out, with your large family, start, some type of charity, or be, the voice to a greener planet for your children to live in, stop being this woman that's so wasteful and recording it and making it seem like it's okay to do, because it's not. Just do better, Alicia. So that's my rant for today. Let me know what you guys think. What are some ways that she can use her platform to make some content that, can help the younger generation, or for her content to get greener and not so wasteful? I'd love to see what you guys have to say. Until next time, bye.